Hello, and thank you so much for being part of the Chiro AI Summit. I am super excited to present Read My MRI. Read My MRI helps your patients understand all of their medical imaging and blood work in an easy to understand, AI-powered, doctor-recommended way. And I am going to share my screen. We'll kind of walk through, and I'm going to show you live exactly how this works. So if you're a doc who utilizes a consultative sales process for your patients, specifically relative to imaging, there's a lot of spinal decompression practices that this is going to make a ton of sense. There'll be a lot of functional medicine practices that this will also make a lot of sense if you're using blood work. But ultimately, I'll give a little bit of history, and then we'll dive into how this works. I've been fortunate to work in a variety of orthopedic groups, including the last one. I did a lot of pre-surgical workups for patients. So what did that mean? It means that I sat with literally over 10,000 patients, knee to knee, heart to heart, looking at their medical imaging. And there was something that was common amongst 99.9% of them. They were all very scared when they got their reports back. They would go get an MRI, an X-ray, or a CT. They would sit with me, and ultimately, I would then interpret their imaging and, as I like to say, separate the problems from the not perfects. And I would let people know your report has a variety of not perfects. My job is to help understand what are the problems, because not perfects are okay. But people came in super scared, and you might be shocked to discover that there are over 1 billion. Yes, you heard that correctly. 1 billion medical images taken each and every year. So I founded Read My MRI earlier this year, and we've been consumer facing for the last year. And I'm fortunate to be involved in MBAR Collective. We got picked up by a startup incubator here in Tampa, Florida. We are growing very, very, very fast, but this is going to be a little bit of a sneak preview of what's to come with our B2B offering, helping your practice attract, convert, and ultimately help many more people that are struggling with conditions related to their imaging and blood work. So the goal of Read My MRI is really, really simple: to understand your scan in seconds. So how does that work? Patients simply upload their reports, and Read My MRI in less than 1 minute will help them understand what that report means. They'll get back a summary highlighting what every term means, how it could be impacting their health, with a list of questions to ask their doctor. Again, we do this with MRI, CT, X-ray, ultrasound, and lab work. We've been fortunate to be featured on a variety of channels, and ultimately it's about helping patients go from confusion to confidence. So inside every Read My MRI report, whether it's an MRI, CT, X-ray, ultrasound, or PET scan, or lab work, we'll give them simple explanations that make sense, answers that they can trust, and clarity in less than a minute. So why do patients trust this? Because it's fast, it's affordable, and ultimately it is built by doctors. That is including me. So I'm going to give an overview of Read My MRI. Then I'm going to flip over to how this can impact your practice. But first, I want you just to understand how it works. Patients go on and upload their report securely. We simplify the science, and our technology turns the confusing terms into easy to understand explanations. And in less than 60 seconds, I'm going to show an example of this live. You'll be able to see exactly how it works: uploading a report and getting back a summary. So when patients typically receive their X-rays, specifically their MRIs, CTs, and PET scans, it's super hard to read. Here's the deal. Medical imaging is written B2B. It's written by radiologists for other doctors to interpret. And I'm sure you've seen this in your practice, specifically with advanced imaging such as PET scan, CT, and MRI. Patients come in with a 10-page report thinking that the world is ending. And quite often you can look at it and clearly pick out things that are just a normal part of the aging process from things that might be really challenging them. So that is a big, big problem for many people, and it leads to a ton of fear in searching Dr. Google. So they end up with a lot of confusing medical jargon, not really having any next steps. There's no real personalization, and ultimately they're stressed and anxious. So the goal of Read My MRI is to really solve as many of those issues as possible. We've been fortunate to do this now throughout this year for people around the world. So this has been growing very fast, and I think it's for good reason, because there are too many people out there that are just plain scared when it comes to their medical imaging. So when somebody goes on to the website, if they go on as a consumer, they can purchase a report. And basically, it's going to bring them to, I'm going to show behind the scenes here. It's going to bring them to a screen. I'm going to show you exactly how this works live, and then we'll show how this applies to your practice. So let me put in, you know what, I'm going to put in Jeff at the evidence-based chiropractor.com. Obviously, a patient would put in their address. I am going to drag a report. Give me a moment to grab a report here, sample report. So this is just a total sample report, not with real patient data. I'm going to put that in, drop it. I'm going to say I am not a robot, and I am going to click submit. So as that processes, you're going to see right here, it's been uploaded. System is creating a summary, and you should expect to receive that summary within a few minutes. So this portal is secure, and it really is the foundational element by which patients can see exactly what's going on. So we'll hang tight together right now, and I'm going to go over to my email as soon as that comes through, and we'll take a look together. Now, you can probably already start to be piecing this together, but what we are launching this year is called Harbor, and this is powered by Read My MRI. You probably can already start to put together the utility of this, and what do I mean by that? Imagine if you, in your practice, on your website, in your lead, on the back end of your lead forms, in your consultative sales approach, had the ability for a patient to upload their report with your brand at the top of it, with a QR code to leave a Google review, because that is such a valuable bit of information that you've just given them. You can see how, if you are using a consultative approach in your patient acquisition, and you're utilizing imaging and or blood work as part of that consultative approach, how powerful this can be. So Harbor is going to be powered by Read My MRI. And here we go. I am going to click on over to my email, and you're going to be able to see exactly what is going on. So we just got our report back already. Let me click over to my email. You can see it there. So I'll show you. Reports can feel overwhelming. Here is your report. I will double click on that summary, and then I will share screen over to that summary, and you can see exactly what it looks like. So with Read My MRI, you can see we have the brand at the top. Now through Harbor, this would be your logo at the top. It is going to pull out all of that patient information, put it right there. It's going to highlight the key findings on that on the imaging report. What was going on that imaging report? It's going to give a detailed explanation of each finding, along with links out to primary, really high quality resources that patients can learn more about those conditions. It's going to have a glossary of terms so people can understand what's going on. And then a summary. What does this mean for you? What are the questions you should ask your doctor when you go visit them? What are the next steps in treatment options and the final thoughts? So as you can imagine, think about a patient currently who finds you through a Facebook ad or goes onto your website. Imagine if they had the opportunity to upload their imaging, receive something like this back in less than a minute with your brand, your logo. You can imagine how much trust that would build. It's just a tremendous amount of trust that you can build as you go through that. So what Harbor is going to do, your patients aren't going to pay Read My MRI. What you can do is, I'm going through Harbor, you'll have the opportunity to have your own branded portal. So you can connect this again on the back of your website. You can connect this to your lead forms. Wherever you choose, you can have Harbor available. So your patients can upload their imaging, receive back a report from you within 1 minute, branded to your practice. And again, that is going to help you dramatically increase your lead to show ratio and your show to convert ratio when you're discussing what's going on with the patients. And it just saves you a ton of time instead of having to put discs into computers. I don't know if people still do that, or access web portals online, trying to review imaging. That's like stressful and takes a lot of time. Why not let the power of AI simplify that entire process for you? So if you're spending, thousands of dollars per month on ads, I got a feeling you're letting too many of these leads walk away. Again, whether you're into regenerative medicine, spinal decompression, elective spine surgery, those leads can cost a lot of money. And you probably have seen your conversion rate continue to slide and your profit margin continue to shrink. So these are automated branded reports for your practice powered by Read My MRI that can pre-frame your treatment approach, save you time. If somebody uploads a report and they're not qualified for the care that you deliver, they don't have to use that new patient opportunity. This is going to save you and your team time by sorting out people who aren't qualified before they end up in your practice. It helps your consults become smoother, faster, and more persuasive. And it also helps your ads deliver significantly more ROI. Instead of come on in for $0 or $50, everything in the kitchen sink, how about upload your report and get answers within 1 minute? Man, if you start utilizing that in your ad copy, it is going to bolster your conversion rates substantially, dramatically decrease your lead cost, and give you the information you need to ultimately help patients. So there's two ways this can be utilized. One, again, through your marketing funnels, you will have your own upload portal that you can put on your website. Your new patient leads can upload their imaging through your branded widget. In less than 60 seconds, they'll get those summaries customized for you, and then your team will follow up, nurture, and book more qualified consults. Pretty straight up. You can also do this live in practice because it takes less than a minute. So if a patient walks through your front doors and has imaging right there, your team could utilize the same portal, upload that patient in report, and get back that summary for you to be able to review with the patient in less than 60 seconds. It's faster than you can do yourself, and in many cases will be more accurate than you can do yourself because you're part of a busy practice. Read My MRI is waiting 24/7, 365 in order to do this for your patients. So this is going to help you convert more leads in two primary ways: pre-qualification, of course, in that marketing funnel, and in clinic as well. So this is best if you spend money on paid ads or marketing programs, and if you want to lower your cost of acquisition and filter out unqualified patients, then Harbor by Read My MRI is a fantastic option for you. So with Harbor, you can get more qualified leads, higher conversions, and lower costs. Again, whether you are using this in your marketing funnel as a pre-qualification step or whether you are using it in your practice. So your patients will get those reports. And I'm super excited about this. I've seen over the last year, our traffic at Read My MRI has gone parabolic. There is just massive consumer demand. We're talking 20,000 plus people, and it's almost doubling month after month, that are looking for answers. So that is massive. And this is a massive opportunity for you and your practice to take advantage of that opportunity. And that opportunity is 1 billion people worldwide, thousands, if not tens of thousands in your community, depending upon where you live, that are getting medical imaging, that are scared and unsure of what to do next. If you show up as that trusted voice, if you show up as that person who can help guide them and give them practical information, there is no question that that's how a practice grows. It's on the back of value delivered. Read My MRI is a value differentiator in your community. So if you'd like to learn more about the launch of Harbor and get what I'm going to call our best founding member offer, you can reach out to me at hello@readmymri.com. That is hello, HELLO, at readmymri.com. Let me know who you are, where you practice, and what you are looking for, even if it's just more information. And I'll be happy to connect with you directly, walk you through the process, help you understand exactly how this would be implemented in your practice, and also give you the best opportunity, at least 50% off when we go to market. So this is kind of pre-market right now. I wasn't planning on launching Harbor until 2026, but you're in the Chiro AI Summit. Now is the time to talk about technology, to talk about the future, and to also give you a very, very exclusive deal. So VIP members of Chiro AI Summit will be able to get the deepest discount on Harbor. So be sure, if you have not signed up for VIP, to do so. I hope you have an awesome rest of your day in the clinical aspects of AI. Leadership's coming up tomorrow. Thank you so much for being a chiropractor. Thank you for coming to the Chiro AI Summit, and I'll see you very soon. Bye-bye. If you want the best deals on products and services, along with some of the best speakers in chiropractic, you're going to want to register for our next summit coming up soon. Click on down below and register today.